You see how much more like lifted this eye looks? We want to be chiseled. Don't sleep with my makeup on, but if I did, this would be the look I did. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be doing a GLAM warm toned fall tutorial. This look right here, I'm going to be showing you the ins and outs, the step by step of how I created this look. Come and get ready with me for fall. I'm super pumped that the weather's starting to cool down. We're getting some crisp, beautiful, fresh days. PSL, pumpkin spice latte, the new pumpkin cream cold brew is also like my new fave drink from Starbucks. So all things fall are the best to me. Pumpkin pie, Thanksgiving turkey dinners, sweater weather. Like, what is there not to love about fall? It's my favorite, hands down. I've been loving my new fall background. I never actually really mentioned it. I'm really sad because pretty soon it's gonna have to turn into Christmas. It's approaching, guys. It's approaching quickly. So let's really soak this fall in and really enjoy it. And let's start with a fall tutorial. So if you want to find out how I created this look, then keep on watching. Okay, so let's get started. We are going to start with eyes today, actually, and I'm gonna go in with my MAC paint pot. This one I haven't used in a hot minute, and it is probably still my favorite, if not one of my favorites. So for today's look, we're actually going to be using an old favorite. Well, not that old. It's like last year's favorite. It is the Tati Beauty palette. I haven't used this in a while, and I just look at this and see the oranges, the browns, this beautiful like coppery metallic, and it screams fall to me. And so that's what we're going for today, a warm toned glam eye look. I am going to be doing a cool toned glam look and a really easy, simple, everyday fall look. So if you're interested in some other fall tutorials and looks, then I recommend you subscribe if you have yet to do so. But for today, let's just go in with some of the shade Aura, which is this cream matte. And I am going to use like a large fluffy brush and start by applying it all over the lid to kind of set down that primer, but also lay a little bit more pigmentation to the base. Okay, so now what we're going to do is start with a transition shade, which is the shade Soothe in the matte formula. This is like a neutral soft brown, and we're gonna use that in the crease on like a larger, fluffier brush, but this one is a little bit tapered on the end, so it's still going to be precise enough that it's not like going all over my eyelid. And we are going to place that right in the crease all the way across. I'm gonna do windshield wiper motions first to kind of apply it across almost to like the inner corner all the way to the outer edge. So now that I have it applied in the crease, I'm gonna take the excess on the brush and circular motions outwards and upwards to diffuse it out. I'm now going to take a little bit of Soothe, just a little bit, mix it with the shade Aura. So it's going to create kind of like an in-between, like an even lighter, almost beige. And I'm going to use that to soften this edge even further so that it's perfectly seamless. So now I'm going to grab an even more precise brush. So it is like another kind of loose blending brush, but it's more flat, so it's going to give a little more precision. The first big fluffy brush that I used was a Morphe E30, and then the last two were a part of a collection from Morphe. I'll link the collection down below. We're now going to go into the shade Story, but I'm actually going to mix it with the shade Ritual because I don't want it like super orange, but I want to create a kind of orangey brown, like a nice rich orangey brown. So I'm going to mix these two, and I'm going to hold my brush and kind of point it down. Like if I apply it upwards, it's going to apply it higher up. If I point it down, it's going to apply it right in that crease. I'm gonna use a little more orange because I don't want it that dark. I want it a little softer and warmer, but the two will mix to create kind of like this warm, rich brown, which just screams fall to me. So we're doing the exact same shape as the initial soft brown, but we are doing it in a more precise manner. Okay, so now that we have that, we're gonna go in with the second brush, the fluffy brush we applied the shade Soothe with, and soften those edges. If you're having trouble, like, I can keep blending that, but if you want it to be easier, you can pick up some of the shade Soothe just a little bit, and by applying that really lightly to the edge, it'll help things blend out a little bit easier. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is create a little more depth to the eye without making it too dark. I'm going to grab a more like flat brush. This is actually a Luna Magic brush. I got this in a BoxyCharm. But do you see how it's kind of shorter and flat? I want it really precise, and I'm actually gonna go in with Matte Memory, which is a nice rich matte black. Really tap off my excess, and I'm gonna apply this on the outer lid and kind of attach it to the crease without actually going into the crease, if that makes sense. You can kind of go into the outer crease, deepen that up a little bit, but I actually want more of the depth on the lid. Didn't even really bring it into the crease much, but just kind of connected it to that brown, and then we'll blend that in together. And I'm only going to about a third of the way in. And now I'm going to take the brush that I was applying the dark brown and orange with, and I'm going to use that to blend the black into the brown. So I'm just using circular motions. I'm kind of merging the shadows together. So as I said, circular motions over the line between the brown and the black to diffuse and soften everything out and into each other. I'm just gonna blend those edges one last time to ensure everything looks seamless. The nice thing about doing your eyes first is you can clean up the lines afterwards, so that makes it a little bit easier for the actual shadow application. You don't have to be as mindful of where you're blending outwards. So now that we have the crease done, we're gonna go in with some fun, some glitz and some glam. First, I'm gonna take this shade here, which is Ritual in the metallic formula. I'm actually taking it on the same brush. I just cleaned it quickly. You could grab a different one, but I like this for metallic, like laying it on the lid. I am going to apply this on the edge of the black. Then it's not like black glitter. And you can kind of pull it into the lid a little bit as well. If you don't want to do glitter, you could just apply a metallic like this all across the lid. But if you know me, if you've watched the channel before, you'll know I love me some glitter. Now I'm going to use my finger and go into Story in the glitter formula and apply this, overlapping the metallic but not fully covering it. We want to leave a little bit of that. So as I said, there's that transition. I'm applying it to basically the rest of the lid. Once I have it fully applied, I'm going to use the excess on my finger and just kind of tap really lightly over the edge there so that it blends into that metallic. I'm now going to take some liner, and I'm actually going to be going in with my Revlon Color Stay up to 24-hour eyeliner in the shade Black Brown. This is their improved formula. Like, smudge it along the waterline and into that black so it kind of is all in one. And I went a little thicker on the outside because we're going to blend it kind of into the black. And one last time, I am going to reinforce, but this time it's going to be the black. So I'm just going to take this brush here and smudge along where I applied that liner so that it kind of all blends in together. Now let's go ahead with the face, and then we will finish up the eyes after we're done the rest of the makeup look. So I'm gonna go in with a wipe and kind of clean up my under eyes. I am going to take my finger, especially if you have a nail, it works perfectly, and wrap it around my finger or your nail and kind of clean up that edge so it looks a little bit less. Do you see how much more crisp that looks. I also find it kind of pulls the eye up as well. Do you see how much more like lifted this eye looks? So now what we're going to do is prime. I'm going to be using my Wet n Wild Impossible primer. I am just going to use my fingers. Now let's go in with some foundation. So I'm actually going to be mixing a matte foundation with a radiant foundation, which is like one of my favorite things to do. And it's funny because they're actually both from NARS. And I didn't really realize this until I picked them out because I absolutely love this one. It is their Soft Matte Complete Foundation, super long wearing, controls shine, really good coverage. But this one just has a beautiful finish to it. And it's a beautiful foundation in general. It's pretty good wear time. It looks nice on the skin. So I'm actually going to mix the two together because then we will get kind of a more natural finish, which is like my fave. Now I'm just going in with my Real Technique sponge. The excess on my hand, I'm going to pick it up, do a really, really light second layer, but more focusing on just smoothing out the existing product on my skin. I'm now going to go in with my One Size Butter Silk Concealer. Because it is a glam look, I am obviously going to be going for more full coverage. All right, so for today's look, I am going to go in with my Patrick Ta Cream Contour Powder Duo. I'm going to go in with the cream side. Big reason I chose this cream contour today is because it is a pretty neutral, verging on cool toned for my skin tone. And I didn't want to go too warm toned with the whole orangey brown eye look. I don't want too much orange, and so some of my other cream contours have a bit more of like an orangey base, which is totally fine, and I love some that have warm undertones, but I don't want to look too orange, you know? I don't want orange everywhere, so we're going with a more cool toned contour today. We're still going to go pretty heavy though on the contour because this is my glam fall look, so we want to be chiseled. I'm now going to set the face with my Maybelline Fit Me. And then with a looser brush, we're going to take the extra and set the rest of the face. We're going to finish off the cheeks next. I'm going to be going in with my ColourPop cheek palette from the Your Cheeky collection. This is the Born to Blush. I'm going to first go in with the bronzer and add a little more color. This obviously is going to be a little bit more warm than the contour, so we're going to bring it up into the cheeks a little more and help use it to really make sure everything looks seamless. Because we are going for a more warm tone look, even though I didn't want the contour to be too warm, I still want to add a little bit of warmth to the face as well. And using that bronzer, I am going to go in with a smaller brush and use it to contour the nose. I'm also going to use the blush from this palette. I'm actually going to mix these two because I just love them both. The one is like a lighter peach and the one is a little bit darker. It's more of like a almost verging on terracotta. So we're going to mix them and get one in between. I'm going to actually use this same brush. I'm not going to pull it into the apples of the cheeks too much today. Just kind of blend it in. And I'm just going to blend all those edges a little bit more. Now I'm going to take the highlight from this collection. It is kind of a champagne-y golden highlight. Really, really pretty and kind of screams fall. I feel like everything golden and like rich screams fall to me, and so that highlight kind of fits perfectly. I'm just gonna quickly do a little touch up on the brows because the foundation did kind of mess up the shape a little bit. You guys noticed today I'm doing the feathery look again? I can't believe it, but I really am into it. I'm really into it. So now what we're gonna do is finish up the eyes. Let's go in with lower lash line. So I'm going to take an even more precise brush, more like a pencil brush. This is actually also from the same collection as the other two brushes. That way, if you're interested, you can just get them all. I'm gonna go in with the dark brown, smudge it along the outer half. And then I'm going to soften this with the shade Soothe, but I'm actually gonna add a tiny bit of the shade Story so that it's, again, a little bit warmer. So I'm gonna start by kind of blowing it out a little bit in the inner part and then working my way outward. And I am going to take the excess along this edge here just to make it not quite so intense. Then with the shade Cream, with the shade Aura, I'm gonna use that to diffuse everything outwards. I'm now going to take on a very precise brush. Actually, for this, I like to use very kind of like flat smudgers, shaders, and I'm gonna pick up that glitter and apply that along the lower lash line. This step though, you wanna be careful not to get it in your eye or else it might hurt. I'm now going to take the shade Aura and Soothe Metallic and mix them to kind of create a champagne-y golden corner shade. I didn't want it too bright, but I also didn't want it too golden. So this is a perfect in between. Also, let's use that on the brow bone. Okay, so to finish the eyes, let's do mascara and pop on some falsies. I'm actually going to be using a pair of lashes from the set called Pro Beauty Faux Mink for Days Pro Lash 10 pack plus lash adhesive. It was at Marshall's for $20 and you get 10 pairs of lashes. Super good deal. The only thing is I find that some of them are really difficult to get off without breaking, so you just have to learn to be really careful. But once they're off, they're super cute. I'm gonna go in with these ones here, which are called the 3D Noir. They're kind of wispy and cat eye-y, and I am probably gonna have to cut these. What I do recommend is when you're taking these off, take them off by the outside, so if it does pull a little bit off, at least you're probably gonna end up needing to trim them. That's what I've learned. You should, I guess, kind of always do that just in case, but. Okay, so while the lash adhesive sits on the first one for a second, let's go ahead with mascara. I'm gonna be using the Ilia Fullest Volume Mascara. I've been testing it recently and it's pretty good. So I'm just kind of continuing to use it to really form a solid opinion. Honestly looks even good with just some mascara, but we gotta have some lashes as well. I love fall so much. So much. I'm really mad right now because it is 9 o'clock at night. I'm gonna take this off in like half an hour. Like, why do my best looks happen when I'm gonna remove them right away? Definitely redoing this one. I mean, I've done similar looks to this before, but I haven't done like a good warm toned look like this in a long time. Everything is going perfectly. Well, obviously it's because I'm using products that I know and love, but even then sometimes not everything goes perfectly, you know, smooth. So of course that would happen on a day where I'm not really gonna wear this makeup all day long. Last but not least, we have lips, and I am going to use first and foremost my MAC lip pencil in the shade Chestnut. Now this was from the Tiana Taylor collection, but they also do still sell it in their original packaging. It is like a nice, rich kind of brown liner. So I'm going to use this to contour the lips. I am overlining a little bit because no matter what time of year, I like fuller lips. I'm now going to take the Color Pop Lippy Stick in the shade Soft Side, which is actually very similar but a little bit warmer, and I'm going to use that to blend a little bit. I'm going along the edge. Outer parts of the lip, I'm going to fully fill in, and as it goes inwards, I'm going to use less and less. This is going to create a fuller lip effect. It also does help blend that liner into the lip. The last product I'm going to use is the MAC Hug Me Lustreglass lipstick, the new reformulated luster MAC lipsticks. Super love them. This is my favorite shade, Hug Me. I'm gonna apply that in the center where I have yet to apply any lipstick, but then also blend it a little bit into the existing product. Don't sleep with my makeup on, but if I did, this would be the look I did. That is it. I'm gonna go in with my Tatcha Luminous Dewy Mist because I just wanna be glowy and all things glam today. Well, all right. This is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys find this helpful. If you do recreate it or post it on social media, don't forget to tag me. I'd love to see your recreations of it. All my social media is linked down below. You can check me out there. I encourage you guys to follow, as I am doing a giveaway right now, and today is the very last day for you to enter. So I will link all the information down below, like the how to enter. If you want to see some more fall tutorials coming up very soon, and also some Halloween looks coming up, more kind of tutorials. Let me know what types of looks you're interested in, and don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and have an absolutely wonderful day. I hope you guys are enjoying this fall season. I know I am. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.